Hello, my name is Cheyenne Harris, and this is my Marriage and Family Studies internship experience. Hope you enjoy. So the first question is, how did you find or arrange the internship? So a lot of people in our major work in nonprofit organizations and social work and wonderful things like that, but it wasn't something that I was interested in doing. I wanted to focus more on the academic side of our major, and so I decided that I really wanted to work at a university for my internship. And so I was planning at the time to apply to some marriage and family therapy graduate programs. And so since I wanted to work at a university, I figured it best to send emails around to the professors at the university for my potential graduate programs. And so one of the programs that I was planning on applying to was the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, which is UNLV. It's because that's where I was from, and they had an exceptional MFT program. And so I looked at a list of professors there, and I found that there was a professor by the name of Dr. Stephen Fife, whose research interests aligned very closely with my own. So I found out that he was LDS and he graduated from BYU, so that was obviously intriguing. And then his research interests were based on infidelity and finding healing after having infidelity in marriage. And so I figured that would be a perfect place for me to dive into. And so I sent him an email, and I introduced myself, and I said that I'm a graduate student or an undergraduate student at BYU, Idaho, looking for an internship, and I was going to be in Las Vegas. And he replied with, I'd definitely be interested in speaking. He'd never done an undergraduate internship before, so he said, send me your resume and a sample of your writing so I can see your writing style, and then we'll get to talking. So I did so, and then he called me and said that he would definitely be interested in speaking and looking to see what I was interested in and what I was looking for in an internship. And so after a while, we decided to move forward, and I knew what I was going to do. So what did I do is the next question. So I was a teacher's assistant / research assistant, and the first task that he had me do was develop a marriage and family therapy online course. And what he did was, he was an instructor for an online course at the university for undergrad students. And so he gave me a textbook, and he said, read the textbook or skim the textbook and come up with a lecture for each chapter, a PowerPoint for each chapter, and 2 discussion questions for each chapter. And so I did. For all 16 chapters, I came up with my own lectures as if I were teaching the class, my own PowerPoint presentations, and discussion board questions. And then he came up with the exams and tests. And so I pretty much developed an entire online course for a university. And the next thing that I did was I watched and summarized recorded therapy videos. So Dr. Fife knew that I wanted to be involved in MFT, marriage and family therapy. So he gave me a list of 6 different videos to watch of really old AAMFT conference videos of therapists showing their techniques and their models. And I was able to watch all of those videos, and I was given the task of summarizing them. So I wrote a 2-page summary for each. I time-stamped them so he knew exactly what was going on when it was going on in the video. And then I chose 2 different clips in the video that I felt accurately showed an understanding of the model and application of the model, the therapy model. And he is going to use those video clips to show to his graduate students in his course next semester. And so in doing so, I had the opportunity to study different therapy techniques, which was outstanding. I loved having the opportunity to study these techniques because that's what I wanted to do with my life. And so I studied structural family therapy and family systems therapy and all of these different models. And then after that, we had the task of writing journal articles for the Las Vegas Parent Guide. So I am technically published. We co-authored some journal articles on empathy and raising emotionally intelligent children by John Gottman, different things like that, which was great. And I had the opportunity to attend research meetings. And so in those research meetings, we discussed a research project that we were currently working on based on infidelity. and Healing from Infidelity, and we were able to look through internet blogs to see how people healed and their reactions from that, and we're still currently working on that. But I got to be there through the process of IRB proposals and many different things that are incredibly beneficial. This might not sound the most fun to you, but this kind of stuff is intriguing to me and I loved it. So I hope this piques someone's interest. And then the next thing I got to do was promote Dr. Fife's new therapy book, Couples in Treatment. And I found this incredibly beneficial because one day I'll be a published author and I'll have the opportunity to market my books and promote my books and my papers. And so, excuse me, I learned a bunch of different marketing techniques. I was able to figure out how to use social media to my advantage and blogging and how to raise my name on an internet search, things like that that are incredibly beneficial. So the next question is, how did you benefit UNLV? So like I mentioned before, I developed a course and wrote lectures and PowerPoint presentations and XYZ for the students. And then I chose therapy clips to be shown to the MFT grad students. So I've already impacted, I feel, a bunch of students' lives at UNLV. I also furthered the research that was currently being taken place with the professors and grad students. And I feel like I brought a cheery demeanor. And that's the most important part, right? Being cheery. So the next question is, how did you benefit personally? So this is my favorite part. The first bullet point that I have here is a graduate assistantship. I'm not sure if you guys know what that is, but when you join a graduate program, it's very expensive, and one of the only ways to pay for your grad school is with a graduate assistantship. And what that is if you get the assistantship, you work alongside your professors on research that they're working on, and you also have the opportunity to teach undergraduate courses at times. And so I applied to be a graduate assistant, and I feel like I wouldn't have gotten the position had I not known the professor personally. I mean, there were hundreds of applications, and there are only 2 people who were chosen, so I feel incredibly blessed that I had the opportunity to work with the professor in the program as an undergrad student, so we knew how hard I worked. That way, I had the opportunity to get a graduate assistantship, and it pays for all of my tuition through my master's, and it gives me a weekly salary, and it's a wonderful, wonderful blessing, and I got that because of this internship, I feel. The next thing is I became familiar with qualitative and quantitative research studies and data analysis and IRB proposals and things along those lines, which I had no idea about beforehand because BYU Idaho is not a big research school, and so I got to learn a lot before hopping right into my master's degree. And then I became very familiar with therapy techniques that I'll use throughout graduate school, and I learned how to effectively develop a course and teach it. My plan is to have a private practice eventually, and then I'll become a professor, a university professor, so I felt like that was probably one of the most beneficial things that I learned. An important connection that I made. Brother Gardner, I took a class from him during my undergrad called Family Theories and Dynamics, and when I took this course, I was not the biggest fan because it was a lot of work and a lot of information. But I remember studying really hard with study groups in my class and remember thinking, oh, I don't know if I'll use this, who knows? And then when I started my internship, I completely understood concepts from different theories that I would have been so lost had I not taken his course. And so I was incredibly grateful that the information I learned from my undergrad transferred over to my internship and will transfer over to my graduate degree. And for that, I'm incredibly grateful. Now the next question is, would I recommend this experience? Yes, absolutely. If you're in Las Vegas and planning to attend UNLV's Marriage and Family Therapy program, then this is perfect for you because it gets your foot right in the door like it did for me. If you're not in Las Vegas, I recommend that you go to your local university and you search through the professors there in whatever program you're interested and speak to them directly and just go and say, hey, would you be interested in having an assistant or someone working on your research or your courses? And if it works out, wonderful, because it was a great experience for me. Working at a university is indescribable, and it proved that it had many blessings for me, so I hope it does for you as well. Best of luck from me to you for finding an internship, and I hope that you feel that this video was valuable and that you learned something.